should you tip an Uber driver at the end? Should you give the Uber driver an extra tip?
I mean, I would never say don't tip an Uber driver, like if you really feel like if the guy delivered your baby in the back seat, give the guy a tip, right?
Okay.
The public has been misled into thinking that tips are included with Uber.
Uber says, for their taxi service anyway, that a 20% tip is included in the fare. If that's the case, they're taking a commission on tips. That's illegal.
They say that if a passenger offers a tip, we need to decline it. That's what they say on their emails and video trainings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that tips were already included in the transaction? Well, you're not alone. Uber did make it seem like tips were included. In fact, on its website, it says, quote, there is no need to tip, but tips are not part of the fare.
They were saying the tip is included, which is complete lie. There is no tip included.
Uncle Uber steals tips.
They changed their statement right now. They say that the tip is not included and not required.
But my source tells me there's also a business reason. They are doing everything possible to keep those drivers classified as contract workers, not employees, and the tip could lead to a slippery slope in that regard, which would completely change their business model because of benefits.
Oh, that's really interesting. So if they were put the tip function on the Uber app, that may complicate things in having them as contractor employees.
Exactly, because that keeps it so simple.
Drivers' lawyers tell CBS this morning, quote, I think this change will significantly affect the driver's pay because the public has been misled into thinking that tips are included with Uber.
Uber passengers may need to start carrying cash.
I always tip heavily. I do. I think that that's very important. Regardless
But just
of who you
remember,
are,
also
heavily.
tipping
Yeah,
is somewhat of an American thing, and
It
Uber
is, exactly.
it operates in over 65 countries. So we're talking about convenience colliding with a social norm in our country.
The cashless car service Uber may start requiring you to carry some cash for tips.
I've talked with the founder, Travis, about this a lot. It is a designed experience to not have to tip. So
All right.
if you don't want to tip, you don't have to feel bad about not tipping.
I'm still going to tip, but
So if you don't tip, well, you're just going to look like a jerk.
you're going to think this is a joke.
No,
Mine is 4 points.
No way!
In the past, Uber riders haven't been pressured to tip their drivers. The app has never given the option to tip, so apart from the occasional Good Samaritan, drivers had to be happy with their regular wage. But thanks to a $100 million settlement with drivers in California and Massachusetts, tipping your Uber driver may become as normal as tipping your server. Friday's worker misclassification settlement gives drivers permission to actively seek tips and give poor ratings to riders who hold out. So the next time you get an Uber, if you don't tip, the driver can give you a poor rating, which might affect your ability to catch a ride in the future.
If you didn't already know, drivers do rate you as a passenger. You can see your rating in the settings. And if your passenger rating goes too low, well, you may not get drivers to pick you up.
And that's why my rating's higher than yours. Quite frankly.
And your passenger rating could suffer. Rival service Lyft does let you tip inside of the app, but on Uber, there's no way to tip inside the app, which means you'll need to carry cash to show your appreciation for good service.
Uber is clarifying its tipping policy. The on-demand car service settled a class action lawsuit by its drivers. An Uber email to customers explains, quote, tips are not included nor are they expected on Uber. If you want to tip your driver, you're free to do so, and drivers are free to accept.